Hi there, Andy Moore with Let's Fix This. I am coming to you today for a very quick video on how to do voter registration. I know you're interested in it, you've wanted to help out, but maybe you haven't done it before, you've got some questions. We'll try to make it as easy as we can. So first thing, everyone asks, can I register to vote online? And no, not in Oklahoma, not really, not completely. Oklahoma does not yet have online voter registration in place. People can go online and fill out the form, but you still have to print it, sign it, and then mail it in to the election board. So the other option is to just handwrite it on a form like this one. You can get a voter registration form from the election board, from post offices, from tag agencies, most public libraries, or you can just print it off of the state election board website if you want to. And when you do, it comes with the backside where you can fold it up and mail it that way. If you're doing a bunch of them, I put them into, like a big envelope and just mail them as a bulk thing. The form itself is very straightforward, and I think we can kind of walk through it. Basically, you just have them answer all the questions, fill out their name and address. It does ask for some sort of identification number, either a driver's license or the last four digits of their social security number. You don't have to provide both. You can provide one or the other. If someone doesn't have those or doesn't know it, there's an option for C. But when you get these forms, if you get the big cardstock forms from the state, it has the instructions attached. When you print this online, it has a second page with the instructions that I just don't have here in front of me that answers some of those questions. But anyway, most people have driver's license or they know the last four of their social. They can put that on there. Then you have to pick a political party, and you don't have to pick a party. There is an option for no party. So in Oklahoma, there are three parties currently recognized: Democrats, Republicans, and Libertarians. There's a box for no party, which is considered unaffiliated or independent voter, is often how we self-identify. I'm an independent voter. That's me. There's also a box for other with a line where people could write in their party affiliation. This would be if they identify with a party that isn't recognized in Oklahoma, like the Green Party, for example. We know in other states is recognized, it's just not here. So filling out a party option there. Then their home address, their street address. So, your house address, city, state, zip. If you have a different mailing address, so this might be if someone who's in college but or lives home and then is in college and they want to receive, absentee ballots. If you have a separate mailing address, that would be it. It does have instructions there. And then your county of residence where you live. Be sure to put the county on there because these forms go eventually to your county election board. If you are re-registering, if you're updating your registration because your name has changed or you've moved, you can use the same form. There's a section here for your old address or your old name, so you can put that there and it'll update that way. And then when you're all done, you just sign and date at the bottom. A few questions that people often have when doing voter registration is, when is the deadline for this year? In 2022, the deadline is October 14th, which is only in about a week, so it's very short notice, but there's still time to get it mailed in. If someone has a legal issue, they have a past felony conviction, can they re-register? And in Oklahoma, yes, they can once their complete sentence has been completed, right? So if someone was convicted and sentenced to 10 years, maybe they only had to serve 2 or 3, and they were out on parole or probation. Once that full 10 years has passed, then they can re-register. It's always exciting to me when I ask people if they're registered to vote. They say, I can't today, but I can in 15 months. Like, a lot of people know exactly when that will be. And that shows that, the importance of voting and how much it means to them as a citizen of this country that they are able to cast their vote. So that's something there. For younger voters, you can register when you are 17 and a half, right? So if someone is going to turn 18 before this election, they will be able to vote in this election, even if they're not 18 today, provided that they are pre-registered. The election board will process that and mail them their voter identification card at the right time. What happens once this form is mailed in or turned in? So once the form is received and processed by the election board, every voter will receive their voter identification card in the mail. It's a little piece of paper, and it has on there your name and address and your polling place, your specific polling location where you vote. If you're talking to a first-time voter who's never done this before, or never done it in Oklahoma, that's something I always try to tell them to look for, and be sure you take that with you, because when you vote, Oklahoma is a state that has voter ID requirements, voter ID laws, where to vote you have to show some sort of photo ID, usually a driver's license, or that voter ID card, which does not have a photo on it, but because it came from the election board, it means that they know who you are and you can use that. I always use my voter identification card instead of my license. I just like the idea that they sent me this ID card for this purpose. I'm going to use it for this purpose. Otherwise, why are they mailing them out, right? It is very straightforward. A few other hints and tips. Please, please, please tell people to write legibly. I can't tell you how many of these that we do, and it is tough to tell if that's an A or a U or a C or an O. And because these handwritten forms are going to be processed by another human at the election board, they're going to run into the same problems and difficulty in reading and handwriting. And that might mean that someone's name is misspelled or that they just don't get processed at all. And that would be a real travesty. So please ask people specifically, please write legibly. The election board people have to read your writing and enter this into the system. And then before they walk away, check to make sure that they check these two boxes at the top about, are you a citizen of the United States and will you be 18 or older on election day? A lot of people miss those. And if either one of those is no, then they're not allowed to complete the form. So make sure they say yes to those, and then just check and make sure they filled out everything else, including county. That gets missed a lot. And then make sure they sign and date. If they don't sign it, you can't mail it. And that's it. As I said, you can mail these in. Again, on the back, it has the little setup there, so you can mail it pretty easily. It does take a stamp. But you can mail them, or you can put them together and mail the whole packet, or you can take it to your county election board or to the state election board and just hand deliver it if that's convenient for you, depending on where you live. That is definitely an option. One other very important thing to know is that if you are doing a voter registration drive and you've got a table and you're giving out stuff, stickers, pizza, whatever it is, you cannot withhold whatever it is from anyone who is not registering. You have to make that available to everybody who registers, regardless of party and regardless of whether or not they are actually registering, right? We cannot, by law, incentivize anyone to register to vote or to vote with anything of value, with one tiny exception: a postage stamp to go on here. That is the only, in an envelope, if you're using an envelope, that is the only thing that you can use that you can cover, the only thing. So if someone comes up and they say, I don't want to register, but I want a sticker, yes, you can have a sticker. You can have a slice of pizza, whatever it is, you can have it. You don't have to register to get it. Which makes sense too. Kids come up and love stickers, those kinds of things. Obviously they're not going to register. You make it freely available, with no grudge, no harm there. But you can't incentivize. You can't promise money or gifts, or anything else. You can maybe a warm fuzzy feeling, right, for doing the right thing and being engaged in the civics and civic life in our state. But that's it. It's pretty straightforward. If you have questions about anything along the way, as I said, the instructions that come with the form are really helpful. Also, the state election board website has tons of information. You can go to elections.ok.gov for information there. You can also go to our website, letsfixthis.org. We have a whole kind of voter guide we're building out to explain how to vote, when to vote, and how to what all these what all of these positions are. Like, who is the county assessor? What does that position do? Those questions that often voters aren't sure about. That's a great way to do it. All right, if you have questions, please reach out to us anytime. Good luck, Godspeed. Don't forget the deadline that those must be received by the election board is October 14th of this year. And please, do not forget to vote, right? You yourself have a role in this. Aside from registering other folks, we need you to show up and vote on November 8th. You can vote by mail, you can vote early, you can vote on election day. However you choose to vote, we encourage you, please vote.